Hello, people of the internet, and welcome back to Rushman Productions. I just watched the entire series of the new Spider-Man show, which is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And honestly, this show is great. This show is one of the best Spider-Man shows out there, like literally. Be it Spectacular Spider-Man, which I have not watched, but I do know that people regard it as one of the best, one of the good Spider-Man shows. Honestly, I grew up with the Ultimate Spider-Man and the dub in our country, that is in Hindi. It was just amazing, so I liked Ultimate Spider-Man. I watched most of it. I don't know if I watched every episode, but I grew up on that show, so I kind of like that show. Then I also watched Marvel Spider-Man, which was like kind of okayish, but I kind of liked where the story was going. But still, it was kind of like okay. But this show is literally, yeah. And I also remember watching a Spider-Man show which was like in the 90s animation. It was like there was Spider-Man and there were like more two people. I guess it was Iceman, and I don't remember another superhero which was there, but that show was like Spider-Man and these two people, or like heroes helping each other, or like people out. And so that was like a very old show that I also watched like a few episodes when it came on TV, like I don't know. I mean, this show was what if would have been, like, this show had good potential and it delivered right from episode 1 to episode 10. Loved it. The storytelling amazing, the animation amazing, and of course looking at Invincible at the same time, it's like, man, you all can do some good animation, but whatever. But the animation is cool. I was a little skeptical while watching the trailers. How will the animation turn out? Will this art style really, like, deliver in this medium, in this animated style? I was still skeptical, but yeah, after watching the show, amazing. This art style reminds you of those 90s comic era, those old school comics where there are only two shades, or there are not many shades in a single character. So it captures that pretty perfectly, and also it gives you like this kind of warm, you know this warm feeling where you feel at home, where you feel, yeah, you are enjoying it, you're kind of nostalgic towards it, you are kind of like, you are safe, this is your safe space right now, so you just enjoy being there. I think the reason they went for this particular animation style was because if you were to do, let's say, a modern animation or a animation style where you show buildings and skyscrapers or and superheroes with very human like things, like kind of on the lines of, let's say, Invincible or Creature Commandos, with how they showing that in New York City would have kind of felt, I guess, in today's day and time, off putting, because suddenly things get very real. Suddenly things aren't as animated, things aren't as, let's say, they cannot be goofy, they just cannot make you feel at home. They become more of like this sad, somber type of music that is playing in the background, which I think that tone was captured perfectly in Spider-Man No Way Home. I guess if they went for a modern type of animation, I mean, of course, this is modern animation, but a, a staple modern animation, it would have felt like Spider-Man No Way Home, where the tone of the show would have been kind of like off putting. It would have just been kind of like the next Invincible show. But honestly, this style of animation is just perfect for the show. I absolutely like it. The use of frames in the entire show is amazing. Like, the frames are used in fight scenes, the frames are used to show different purposes, different. It's just amazing. It reminds you of the comic book. It reminds you of you opening the first page and reading, this happened with this characters, and like there are like frames from one frame to another to, the sequence. It's just amazing to view this show with that added element of these frames and these cuts that were in there. So it's amazing, it's brilliant. Now the story is also amazing. We get to see the origin of Spider-Man, and this origin spans in two episodes, which is episode 1 and episode 10. This might sound weird, but it is a kind of paradoxical origin of Spider-Man which we haven't seen before, like especially in modern media. it touches on, of course, time travel and multiverse, all of that stuff, future, past. But the way they show us the origin of this Spider-Man is literally paradoxical. It is like the spider that bit Peter was actually the spider on which Peter's blood work after being Spider-Man was infused in, and that spider from the future came into the past and bit the Peter in the past, and then he became Spider-Man, and then his blood went to the spider. So it's literally paradoxical. You do not know how this works. Of course, there are many superheroes in there, including Doctor Strange, which play a huge part in this origin story. And literally the first episode starts with Doctor Strange fighting a symbiote and all these future past things happening, which we get to know at the end of the season. That is episode 10. And let me tell you this, the story is amazing. Like, the pacing is great. They have not wasted any episodes. It's like story, like one thing after the other, and it's just flavorful. You get to taste everything. Like, and a great thing that they have done is also explore characters that are not Spider-Man, like Nico, Lonnie, then Pearl, like even Dr. Octavius or Norman Osborn, everyone. They have explored everyone's character, and it is just beautiful to see everyone get their own time, their own developments, their own arcs. And for the first time, I've seen Dr. Octopus in such a limelight. Like, there is personality to Dr. Octopus, and they have explored it. Now, I genuinely do not mind any gender swap or race swap in this particular series, because I think it can be taken in good sport, and it is just genuinely interesting to see these new people, new characters, or like characters with different identities, because that is how the multiverse is. Different people, different ideologies, different things. And I genuinely do not mind it. With that, the Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn, even they seem pretty cool. Like, I didn't literally mind them being of another race. The story is nice. At first, we get to see Peter as, of course, school going kid. Then he transforms into Spider-Man. But in the same 10 episode series, we get to see Peter as Peter, we get to see Peter as Spider-Man, we get to see Spider-Man with friends working as a team. We get to see Spider-Man working under someone, we get to see Spider-Man under someone's mentorship, we get to see Peter under someone's mentorship, we get to see Spider-Man teaming up with his friends, teaming up with someone. It's just great. We get a few cameos of superheroes like Iron Man, Daredevil. I mean, there's also Captain America picture, but this storyline is very MCU adjacent. I mean, I guess that was the original plan. Like, this was going to be the, you know Spider-Man's past, or like the MCU Spider-Man's past story, which they wanted to explore through this animated medium. But I think, as things turned out, I still like the way it went. It is still very MCU adjacent. It is not entirely its own thing. I mean, of course, it is its own thing, but it certainly carries many MCU plot points, such as the Sokovia Accords, the Civil War. But all of this is happening without Peter Parker. Peter Parker is in the back end of the situation. He's not on the front lines with Iron Man and, Captain America fighting there. So it is great, and again, this is great that it is not just a Peter focused, Spider-Man show. In this, we have already established characters. We already have the Avengers. We already have, the sorcerers. We have Doctor Strange. We have other magic abled superhumans. We have, it's just an established world, and just love to see how they explore it through the lens of Spider-Man, how they explore this world of superheroes through a person who has just got his power and is a teenager and is figuring out how to save the world, how to be a better person, how to have responsibility, and how to have, with great power comes great responsibilities. And there's a twist to this dialogue in the series, so it's just great to see how this character pans out in this universe. And there's literally, as the series ended, it opened gateways to unimaginable stories. Like, literally, this season was literally just about opening a Pandora's box of unlimited stories, because I think they've already greenlit season 3 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I can definitely see why. I can definitely see this Spider-Man show be the definitive Spider-Man show of this generation, of this particular time period, which I'm all up for it. This is a great Spider-Man show. Absolutely check it out if you haven't. This is just great. Like, this is a piece of art, this is a piece of medium through which you can consume Spider-Man. This is a piece of media through which Spider-Man has been literally shown in a way that most people, I think, wouldn't be able to get somewhere else. So go check it out. All 10 episodes are out now. Love the show, love the animation, love the art style. A great show. The writing, man, love the writing. Amazing writing. The direction is also awesome. So it's just great. Go check it out. And there are, of course, many parallels with the MCU, with other Spider Man shows, with older Spider Man films. So honestly, just check this out. It's great. Definitely see it. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next.